Good morning, friends. Welcome to goonlinetrainings.com. So from today, we're going to start new batch of data engineering. Data engineering where lot of opportunities for the non-IT people to get into IT sectors. Or if you are working as a sales guy or a operations guy, or if you wanted to, you are not getting good salaries, if you wanted to turn towards data engineering means lot of opportunities you have in the data engineering. Data engineering means layman terminology, collecting data, cleaning the data, that is transforming the data, storing the data into the destination. Collect the data, clean the data, store the data into the destination. So this is what, after that you do the data modeling and everything. So this work is going to be done by the data engineer. Okay. You collect the data of the company, you clean the data of the company, you're going to be storing the data of the company. But the data, if it is a small amount of data, so that data you will be able to store them in Excel sheets, right? If you have some more data, IT industry is going to be using SQL to store large amount of data. If we have furthermore very big amount of data, IT industry is going to be storing that data in a data warehousing computers, which are bigger than your SQL, right? But if you have very big data, large amount of data when you're getting, IT industry is going to be using a technology called Big Data Hadoop or Big Data Spark. Clear? So we are going to be only dealing with the data. End of the day, some company is going to be giving you data. So they may have their business data, they may have the call center data, they may have insurance data, they may give you banking data, they may give you social media data. All the data IT industry has to store somewhere, right? So what are the storages in the IT industry? Only whatever I discussed so far, those are the storage areas in the IT industry. Clear? So, and there's you have to compulsory that where IT industry is going to be storing the data. That is very, very important to store, important to understand. So let me just give a brief introduction. So if it is a small amount of data, we are going to be storing in where Excel sheet or the CSV files or notepads, some files. If we have very small amount of data, I'm talking about, okay, small amount of data means Excel sheets or maybe CSV files. This may be MBs of data can be stored in the IT industry. If it is a GBs of data, so we are going to be using SQL. It is also called as a database management system, or it is also called as a RDBMS data. When you have GBs of data, Amazon is going to be getting every month 500 GB of data, 1000 GB of data. So this data, IT industry is going to be storing in SQL. But when you have terabytes of data, right? So that is when I'm going to be using a data warehouse systems. And when you have a bigger amount of data, so till this it is called as a small data. So that is what IT industry is calling you this as a small data till terabytes of data. But if it is a petabyte of data, zettabyte of data, it is very, very big remaining data. So after that, petabyte, zettabyte, yottabyte of data, yottabyte of data, this is called as a big data. This is called as a big data. This is small data, big data. Small data can be stored either in Excel or in the SQL and DBMS or in the data warehousing. Big data can be stored in the Hadoop system. There is a software called Hadoop. This is what launched in the year 2005. Clear? So that is what you need to know. So this is where IT industry is going to be storing the data. So who's going to be getting the data, working the data? That you are called as a data engineer. Okay. The company is going to be storing the data somewhere. Maybe company's data, maybe Amazon he is having. This is Amazon company data. Maybe they have some data here. 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 That I'm not sure about it. Where is the data? But who's going to be collecting the data of Amazon company, cleaning the data, storing the data? So that responsibility will be taken care by you. You are called as a data engineer. That means you need not worry about Excel sheets and everything, but you need to know SQL. What is SQL? What is RDBMS? You have to know clearly. You have to know what is a data warehousing and everything. You need to know clearly. And you have to know what is a big data Hadoop. You need to know so that you will be able to store the data. So these are the things we have it in the IT industry as of now. Data engineer is the guy who's going to be only storing the data. So company may give you large amount of data, but end of the day, if it is a small amount of data, you may be keeping in Excel. If it is a bigger amount of data, you may choose to use SQL or data warehousing or big data, depends upon the size. Clear? So who's going to be deciding which to use? Data engineer is the guy who's going to be choosing where to store this kind of a data. Clear? So when the data is stored here, there are a lot of other people. Who are they? So you have AI guys and you have a BI guys. So this data further is going to be used by AI people, artificial intelligence people, or BI people. BI means data analytics guys. Clear? So why are we storing the data in the some place? Because once you give the data, this data will be taken by the artificial intelligence guy, AI guys, data science guys, or deep learning guys, or your chat GPT is your big data Hadoop system. Chat GPT is reading large amount of data. From where it is reading the data? Chat GPT data from the Hadoop. It is going to be reading a large amount of data. Clear? So end of the day, your AI application, BI means business intelligence, it is called as data analytics. Both the applications are going to be using your data. So if AI people wanted to work, or if the BI people wanted to work, BI means what? Data analytics and data science I'm talking about. Data science means what? AI. Data analytics means what? BI, business intelligence. Clear? So who's going to be using your data? These two people are going to be using your data. So we are the starting point. We are the first phase workers for the these applications to work run smoothly. So without a data engineer, your AI cannot work, your BI cannot work. So what is a chat GPT? Chat GPT is one AI application. It is getting the large amount of data from where? From here only. Chat GPT. If somebody asks you, Chat GPT is what application? It is an AI application which is going to be getting the data from where? Big data, Hadoop. What is the size of the data? It is maybe 1,000 petabyte or more than that. It is equivalent to hundreds of Himalayas size of data. If you take the data into DVDs and cut the data into DVDs, and all the data of the Hadoop system, all the big data I'm talking about, it is similar to your 1,000 Himalayas or 100 to 500 Himalayas size. That is the data I'm talking about, 1,000 petabyte. Clear? So this kind of a data, Chat GPT is going to be getting. What is a Chat GPT? Chat GPT is an AI application. So Chat GPT work behind the scenes. Who's going to be working? Data engineering people are going to be working to supply the data to the Hadoop system, because a large amount of data Chat GPT is going to be working. So this kind of a data, if you wanted to store, you will be able to store this data either in on-prem you can use, or you can store the data in the cloud environment. So there are two things you can store the data. So all these things, Excel can be stored in the on-premises, and SQL can be stored in the on-premises. Data warehousing can be stored in the on-premises, or it can be stored in the cloud. So what is the on-premises? As I told you, on-premises means you are buying a server, buying a software, and managing everything on your own. The simple example I have given you, you're buying your own car, right? When you buy a own car, you have to have large cash, you have to fuel the car, You have to clean the car. You have to pay the driver's salary if you don't know the driving, and everything you need to bear the risk. That is own car. Own means on premises car. But I wanted to go in for a rental car. What you do? You're going to be going to Uber or Ola, where I don't want to buy the car. I wanted to rent a car. So rental cars are called as cloud cars. Cloud means, remember, rental and online. So Uber is online, right? Ola is online, right? So if somebody tells you cloud, cloud means rental. So instead of I'm taking a car, buying a own car, I don't waste my time, my money, my fuel. I wanted to simply go to the uber.com, ola.com. I will be able to take a car. I will be able to pay based on my use. I am able to pay 100 rupees, 300 rupees, 500 rupees. I can just leave the car. Fuel, I'm not putting. Driver salary, I'm not giving. I'm not cleaning the car. If there's an accident, I'm not going to be taking care of the car because Uber company is going to be taking. So these are called cloud transport systems. Clear? Cloud means it is a rental platform, rental car platform. Like that, we have lot of platforms are available. Those people are going to be giving you rental software and hardware. So earlier, people are buying software, people are buying hardware, installing and using it, and that will be of the big nonsense for the companies. For example, Walmart company data they wanted to store. So first of all, they need to buy what is the capacity of hardware they need to buy. They need to buy 100 of servers, then software, installing, then after that configuration, everything Walmart company has to do it, and it will be big headache for them. Recruit IT people and take on premises and buying everything. And tomorrow I don't need 100 servers. I can use only 50 servers. What should I do with the remaining 50 servers which I bought it? I don't know what to do. So it is a wasting of money when I buy my own server. So instead of that, I wanted to take a rental server, rental computer. So rental computers are called as what? It is called as a cloud technology, cloud platform. Clear? So why cloud is becoming so popular means cheaper, right? Own hardware, lots of amount you have to maintain. Rental means Uber company is going to be maintaining, and Ola company is going to be maintaining. Now today, many people are not using their own on-premises. Everybody using a cloud platforms. Now Hadoop is available in the on-premises means you need to maintain. Instead of that, you can go for the cloud. So what are the cloud things we have? We have so the popular cloud is called AWS. So this is the first cloud got started in year 2003. This is what is called Amazon Web Services. Amazon company which started AWS, which is a rental hardware and software platform. Very, very simple. What is the advantage? You need not buy putting large amount of cash. That is the first one. Second one is called GCP, Google Cloud Platform. It is launched by Google in this one. This is also rental hardware and shop. And after that, Microsoft company started Azure in 2010. It is also rental software. It is from the Microsoft. Clear? So that's it. So what are the cloud platforms? When you many people are asking, you have thousands of cloud platforms. Cloud means the rental servers and rental hardwares. You need hardware, you can take it. You need hardware and software, you can take it. Whatever you need, you can take it. Based on the usage, you need to pay the every month rental amount. So we are going to be using Azure. Clear? So if you wanted to use Azure.com, step number one, what you need to do, you have to go to portal.azure.com and you will be able to register. So this is the step number one. If you wanted to store their data, you have to go to portal .azure.com. You have to register your email ID. Okay. So once you register, it will be free for 30 days. It will be free for the 30 days. You need not pay anything. You will be able to use in the Azure. What is Azure? Azure just like Uber.com, Ola.com. So you can go to Uber and Ola. You can get anything. You can get a bike. for rental, auto rickshaw for rental, four-wheeler, six-seater, seven-seater, outstation cars, whatever you need, you ask them, they will give you for rental, right? Like that, you can go to AWS, you can go to Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Azure, or you can go to GCP. You will be able to go and register. What you do? You have to go to Ola, download the application in your phone. You need to register, right? Same way, you have to go to Azure. Azure is what? A cloud-based computer. Why cloud is becoming so popular? Because which is cheaper and which is more online. Clear? Online means what? If you have your own car, you can use within your premises. If you go from Hyderabad to Mumbai, you cannot use your own car. But if you have Ola, you can just go to Mumbai, book a Ola car there in Mumbai. So that is the advantage. Online means you can use your things anywhere. If you keep some software in your laptop, and if your laptop is with you, you can use it. But if your laptop is in Hyderabad and it cannot be used, so you need to have one more computer there and you need to install the software and use it. But online softwares are not like that. So you can use it here, you can just go there and use it anywhere. So that is the advantage of a cloud. Cloud means online. Online 365 days, 24 by 7, you will be able to get high availability is there. Somebody else will be maintaining the software and hardware, not you. Who's that? Microsoft means, Azure means Microsoft team is maintaining the software and hardware. So there is a natural calamity, there is an earthquake, there is a fire accident. You need not worry about it. If you're maintaining your own hardware, means if there is a problem, earthquake, fire accident, bombing, right? You lose the data, you lose the servers. That is what is the issue when you maintain your own hardware, right? But somebody is maintaining your data in their rental hardware. They will be taking care of a lot of other things. If something goes wrong in a single premises, they will be able to have your data in one more premises. They will be able to maintain your data. So you need not worry about risks. So why cloud became so popular means cheaper, and it is online. Wherever you go, you can use the softwares and hardwares using only one URL. You need to register, but the only thing is that you need to pay based on the usage. That is the advantage, right? So you can scale up and scale down. I need 100 servers today. You can ask the Azure, give me 100 servers this month. Next month, I don't need 100 servers. You can say, only give me 50 servers. Based on that only, you will be able to make the amount to Azure company. So otherwise, if you're buying 100 servers today, tomorrow you don't need 100 servers, you need only 50 servers, means you don't know what to do with the remaining servers when you buy it. Clear? So scaling up, scaling down, and increasing, decreasing, everything will be very, very problematic. For example, can you buy 100 computers? It will take a lot of time to buy 100 computers, right? Can you buy 100 cars within 1 hour? No. But can you get 100 cars within 1 hour? Yes. You can go to Ola, Uber. You can book one by one, 100 cars. You can book it within 5 minutes. Within 10 minutes, the cars are available. That means if you need hundreds of computers within a minute, Azure can give you, AWS can give you, GCP can give you. But if you're maintaining own cars means own hardware means buying a hardware will take physical hardware will take 1 month. You need to get the quotation, negotiate, get the payment, deliver the hardware, then install it. It will take a lot of time. All these are the disadvantages when you go in for the on-premises model. Clear? So if you wanted to work with the cloud, I'm going to be using Azure Cloud, portal.azure.com, where you need to go and register it, and the free 30 days. After that, it will be paid, right? You have to have the credit card, otherwise it is not going to be working, or debit card you need to give. Credit card or the debit card you need to give, and international usage must be activated. If it is not activated, so usage must be enabled in this card. Okay, then only this card can be used for the registering your Azure account. Otherwise, you will not be able to register this. You will not be able to create a free subscription in the Azure portal. Remember, Once 30 days over, it will give you a message saying that, sir, your 30 days got over. You want me to convert, you want me to convert into paid mode. That is what it will ask you. When you say no, it will get deactivated. That's it. Okay. They don't take you not even single rupee from you. So after 30 days, they'll ask you, sir, you wanted to convert this card into paid mode because 30 days got over. You want me to convert into a paid mode. When you say yes, it will be giving the payment, and you can use the same subscription. Otherwise, you need to get one more credit card, one more debit card. You have to keep on working with the portal.azure.com. Clear? But I strongly say you need to use this. Yes. You know what is the monthly bill you're getting? I got only 24 rupees 1 month. I got next month 384 rupees 1 month. Maximum bill I got today is 560 rupees per month. I'm using from last year, right? 24 rupees 1 month, 380 rupees 1 month, 560 rupees 1 month. So maximum 3 to 4 months you don't spend more than 1,000 rupees. So don't worry about this free subscription. Even though it is getting over within 30 days, you should not be worried about it. Maximum bill you will get some 500 rupees, max to max 1,000 rupees you will get it. So that is what you can use it. But without a debit card, without credit card, you will not be able to create your accounts either in AWS or in the Azure or in the GCP platforms. So this is going to be occupied, I think, more when 31 or 39. I don't understand. I don't know clearly, but at 31%, this is only 9%, and remaining 29% or this is Azure. So first position is available with AWS. Second position is from the Azure Microsoft team, giving rental platforms and more demand for Azure and AWS. And GCP Google is only 9%. Clear? So if you want to take the platform for rental means, you have to go to portal.azure.com. They'll give you whatever be the hardware configuration. They will be able to give you the hardware. Now here you can choose whatever be the hardware plus whatever be the software that you wanted to have, they will install and give it to you. So they will tell you, you can ask, sir, I need a Java. Okay, I'll give you. Sir, I need SQL. SQL means what? Which SQL you need? Oracle, SQL Server, whatever will give you. We'll give you .NET. We will give you Power BI, whatever you need. You need Java, .NET, Python. You ask something, we will be able to give you, right? Or you can ask AI, or you can ask Power BI. You ask something, we'll be able to give you. So Azure is going to be giving lot of machines. So Azure is not a single software or single application. Azure is going to be having 200 plus apps are going to be there. So when you go to portal.azure.com, it is going to be giving you a lot of applications, not only one applications. Inside that, as I told you, Java, .NET, Python, this one, SQL. So everything, data warehousing, whatever you need, everything we can give you for rental. You tell me what all you need, but that I will give you. So we are going to be using as part of Azure Data Engineering. So we don't need everything, right? So we can go to Azure. So 200 applications ready as a Azure Data Engineering. What all we use? We are going to be using only few application. We have to use Azure Data Factory. This is one application I'm going to be using. So this is what is called ETL application. This application I'm going to be using. No coding software. Clear? And one more application I'm going to be using, Azure Databricks software, which is a big data software. If you wanted to work with the big data, you have to use this software. And we're also using, if you wanted to store the data, we use Azure SQL. So we may use normal SQL, we may use data warehousing. Everything can be created inside your Azure. So this will be called as your cloud data warehouse, cloud SQL and everything. Clear? So like that, Azure Data Engineering means you should know Azure Data Factory, you should know Azure Data Bricks. Azure Data Bricks is the for the big data. And we are also going to use Azure SQL, and we are also going to be learning. So Azure Synapses, right? So all of them you need to learn here only. So Azure Data Engineering means these are the things that I'm going to be including in this. And 30 days, 30-day data warehouse will be for 10 hours only. This will be given for free. Okay. So what is the data warehouse? I clearly told in the previous classes demos, just watch them. And Azure Synapses also another 10 hours of videos we are going to be giving for free. Okay, so this is also will be given for free. And if you wanted to work with the Azure, the prerequisite is that you should know Azure Data Engineering. We are going to be covering everything, right? But what is that prerequisite? What is that you should know means SQL and Python. These you need to learn if you wanted to work with these things. If you wanted to work with the Azure SQL, first you need to know what is at least on-premises SQL. At least SQL knowledge you need to know. And if you want to work with Azure Databricks, here I'm going to be using both. I'm going to be using SQL knowledge and the Python knowledge is needed. So if you want to work with this, right? So like this, how many first application, second application, third application, fourth applications we are learning as part of Azure Data Engineering. But Azure has how many apps? 200 apps. All of them you're not going to be using it as a Azure Data Engineer. You have to know Azure SQL. If you wanted to know Azure SQL, first of all, you need to learn what is a normal SQL, right? So normal SQL is going to be paid course. You will be able to get the videos from us. And from tomorrow, you can watch daily one video, 30 to 40 hours videos I'm going to be giving. You need to get that. Without SQL, you may be able to perform data factory, fine. But the problem, you cannot get a job at all without SQL, because data means SQL, SQL means data. So without data, you will not be able to do anything. So Azure needs, not only Azure, GCP, AWS, everybody needs SQL knowledge. So that is one thing you need to know parallelly. And Python also, if you wanted to work with the Azure Databricks, so you need to know SQL plus Python. This is a 30 days paid course we're going to be offering. So you need to buy these two extra, and you need to make the payment for these two. Anyhow, these two are free. Only you need to make the payment for these two, and plus these two you need to make the payment. This is what is called Azure Data Engineering. This will take 1 month. This will take 1 month. But this will parallelly you need to work daily. You need to watch one sequence of a video for a first month so that you can complete in the first month this one. Second month when we start Azure Data Breaks, you will be able to watch Python videos for 30 hours. So that parallelly Python and Azure Data Breaks. Next month, in the month of September, you can plan. In the month of August, you can plan Azure Data Factory and SQL knowledge. Clear? SQL, you're going to be installing on-premises SQL, but later you're going to be using Azure SQL, that is cloud SQL. Everything is now cloud. Everything is now on-premises. Excel is a cloud. Excel is on-premises. SQL is a cloud, SQL is on premises. Data warehousing is a cloud, data warehousing is on premises. You are talking about big data, Hadoop, maybe cloud, maybe on premises, right? So that is what we are going to be using and understanding. Now, big data, Hadoop is having a lot of issues. But the big amount of data where we're using big data Hadoop actually initially, right? So let me give you that introduction also. Hadoop is become very, very slow. It is launched to handle big data in year 2005. It has become too slow. So it is released by a company called Apache company. Apache Hadoop is released to 2005, and it is because of too slow. and storing all the data into the hard disk. And people stopped using Apache Spark. And same Apache company started implementing one more software. The name is called Spark, Apache Spark, right? So this is implemented in 2009. So this is going to be very, very faster, and it is going to be storing all the data in the RAM of your computer. If you wanted to deal with the big data, so earlier we were using a Hadoop. Your Chat GPT, Copilot applications are using earlier, Hadoop. Now today everything is implemented in the Apache Spark. Clear? In year in year 2012, there is a company called Databricks is released in 2012. So what they told, using a Databricks, we can implement Apache Spark. See, any software means you need to have a hardware, right? Earlier, we were only installing everything in the on-premises. You need to buy lot of servers, install Apache Hadoop and Apache Spark, and you need to use. I was learning in 2012 and 13. You're buying 5 to 6 computers and installing the Hadoop software there, and try to create on-premises, environment, and we were using it. That is very difficult, right? You buying a hardware, installing is very, very difficult. Then even Apache Spark also, you need to buy a lot of hardware, install a lot of hardware. It is faster, but maintaining on premises is a difficulty. Then Databricks company came in by 2012. These people told, hey, you should not be worried about taking care of the environment. Don't buy the hardware, don't buy the software, and don't taking care of the installing this one, that one. I will take one cloud. I will try to give you a cloud-based service. Clear? When Databricks is implemented, when the Databricks is started, they have implemented what is called as a cloud-enabled big data systems. Clear? When you take Databricks, so Databricks is going to be uh, taking care of the hardware installation and everything. So Databricks is going to be communicating either with the Azure, or Databricks is going to be talking to the AWS, or Databricks is going to be talking to GCP. So what Databricks is going to be doing? Databricks is going to be giving you hardware from the cloud, and a Databricks is going to be internally installing an Apache Spark. Clear? So Databricks is going to be giving you some kind of a rental cloud platform to install your Apache Spark. Okay. Before Databricks comes, you need to buy the hardware, install Apache Spark on your own. But today, because of Databricks, we can go to either Azure or we can go to AWS. We will be able to use Databricks. Databricks internally using Apache Spark to store your data. So what is the Azure Databricks means? It is nothing but it is enabling a cloud software, cloud Apache Spark. Otherwise, you need to maintain on your own. So this company is telling you, hey, I will arrange it on your own, on my own. For example, you wanted to prepare a food at home. So what you're doing, you need to get the cook. You have to buy the vegetables, the chicken. You have to get a lot of stove and lot of bowls, water, everything you need to arrange on your own. Then the chef can come and prepare the food. Now there is one more guy called catering. These people tell you, don't worry about. I'll give you whatever you need it. So catering is a third party. They will be taking everything. End of the day, you will get food ready. So you need not buy vegetables. You need not get the stoves organized. You need not clean the. You need not arrange the water. You need not nothing. Everything will be taken care by the catering. Catering will be getting your food done, cooked by either they may cook it or they may get it from elsewhere. So catering people, they may cook by themselves, or they can go to and get the data from elsewhere else, right? So just like Zomato.com, Swiggy.com, right? So if you go to, if you wanted to get a food item, earlier you need to go and talk to the shop and get the food items. But today, when you ask Zomato.com, Zomato is going to be getting the data from elsewhere. It is going to be supplying something like that. Databricks is going to be giving you a hardware and software solution. Clear? So on top of that, it is going to be installing the Apache Spark. So Hadoop is slow. Companies are not using Hadoop today. Companies are using Apache Spark today. Clear? When you install Databricks in the inside Azure, it will become Azure Databricks. That means what? Databricks is installing Apache Spark in the Azure. Or if you go and install AWS, so Databricks is going to be taking the rental hardware from the AWS company and installing Apache Spark there. So Databricks is not belong to Microsoft. Databricks is not belong to what? It is not belong to AWS. It is a third company, one more company like Swiggy and Zomato. Swiggy and Zomato can go anywhere and get the food, something like that. So Databricks can go get the hardware from the AWS and or they can go to Azure. They will be able to get the hardware from the this one. So Databricks is going to be getting the hardware and all the software. What software is going to be installing? Apache Spark. What is Apache Spark? It is going to be storing a large amount of data. So that is what is called Azure Databricks. So we have to know how to deal with the small amount of data. You should know how to deal with the large amount of data. Clear? So everything is now cloud based. Now you may have data coming from Excel. You may be data coming from SQL. You may be getting the data from data warehousing and you may be getting the data from the Hadoop. Hadoop is gone today. Apache Spark is there. Apache Spark is there today, or it is nothing but a data. So all these things can be cloud. All these things on-prem also. On-prem or all of them can be cloud also. Clear? So you can have on-premises Excel, on-premises SQL, on-premises data warehousing, on-premises you have Apache Spark also, or Excel can all be cloud-based. SQL Server, this is Azure SQL, AWS SQL, and AWS, data warehousing can be cloud, Apache, Spark, and cloud. So anything we can go in for this. Clear? So that is what data storing. So here you're going to be understanding so what kind of data you can store? You can store structured data. You can store semi-structured data. You can store unstructured data here. But in this, you can store only structured data. And this kind of data is called as a small data. And this kind of data is called as a big data. Clear? So today Chat GPT application is using Hadoop. Hadoop is gone. It is using Apache Spark. Apache Spark given by one of the Databricks software only. Databricks is going to be creating a bigger environment and installing Apache Spark. And Chat GPT AI applications are getting the data from the bigger applications, especially Chat GPT I'm talking about. So you can run the AI in the data warehousing, maybe on-premises data warehouse or maybe cloud data warehouse. Okay, on-premises SQL, cloud SQL, or you may run AI and BI within the Excel also. Small amount of data when you have, you will be able to work with the A and BI within your Excel also. So all these things you need to know. Small amount of data and structured data means we are going to be using Excel, SQL, data warehousing. Chart GPT data is not a structured data. You have your Google reviews, you have your Facebook, images, photos, audios, videos, everything it can take and it can give you a lot of images and everything, right? So Chart GPT data is going to be structured data, your semi-structured data, unstructured data, everything Apache Spark can deal. But data warehousing or SQL or Excel can deal with only structured data. What is the meaning of that? Only table data, employee ID, employee name, employee salary. It is a table. Customer ID, customer name, customer address, customer phone number. It is a table data. But if you go to bank or if you go to your hospital, they will take a lot of X-rays. X-rays is image, or they may capture your photo, or they may give you a CT scan. All the data, image data, audio data, video data, all the data. Who's going to be storing? Your data warehouse cannot store. Clear? Social media data is going to be stored in the Spark only today in the IT industry. There is no other thing you have today in the IT industry. Remember, what is the disadvantage of a data warehousing or SQL or Excel means these cannot store large amount of data. They can go maximum up to terabyte. That is one thing. Maximum I can go up to terabyte here. Maximum I can go to GBs here. Maximum I can go to MBs here. So what other maximum size you can go to only 100 terabyte per data warehouse. If it is more than that, data warehouse system will shake, will fail. Clear? But here you may have any amount of data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, any kind of a data. You can do petabyte, zettabyte, yottabyte. There is no problem at all. So any number you can store. So that is one advantage of a Apache Spark or the Hadoop or a Databricks. Large number of structured data, unstructured data, semi-structured data you can store in the Databricks. So compulsory in the data engineering, you have to know what is a big data, what is a Apache Spark, what is a Hadoop and everything. We're going to be discussing in the Databricks classes, and in the ADF Azure Data Factory, we will be able to perform the ETL operations. What is the ETL? ETL means I have now data. For example, a company is going to be there, they will give you a large amount of data. So, for example, Amazon company is there. They say that they have data in some Java application. It is there in US. They have some data in .NET application, maybe in India. It may be in Java, right? All the data I have to bring it. So for the bringing purpose, I'm going to be using ETL software. What software I'm going to be using? ADF. So ADF can get the data, dump the data maybe into data warehousing, or it may be dumping the data to the Apache Spark, that is big data. It can store the data here, or it can keep the data anywhere, or it can simply put the data into Azure itself. Clear? So what is ADF means, which is going to be extracting the data. ETL means getting the data from different sources. These sources may be on-premises sources, or this may be cloud sources. I have some data in one of the AWS cloud, but this data I wanted to bring and keep them in the Azure cloud. Who's going to be getting the data? So Azure cloud means I can get the data from ADF. ADF can go here, get the data from here. It is going to be dumping the data into the Azure cloud. Or it may be your Java application, maybe SQL application on premises, or maybe your Excel application, or you may be having a Python application, you have some data. So all the data you will be able to get it and dump into, you can dump into on premises or you can dump into cloud. So what is the ADF means? ADF is completely ETL service. ETL means extracting the data, transforming the data, loading the data. Simply, ETL means a transport service or lorry service. What is a lorry? You have a lot of rice bags available in the with the farmers. So you go, you collect all the rice bags. All the rice bags are going to be dumping into a bigger godown in the Hyderabad. So what is a lorry? Lorry is going to be going to different places and getting all the rice bags and dumping into a bigger godown. Godown may be own godown, that is on-premises godown, or you can take the rental godown. Rental godown means it is a cloud godown, like that. Clear? What is a ETL means? It is nothing but transport services or data importing exporting services. So earlier to ADF, we had SSIS was there by Microsoft. ADF is launched in 2015. Okay, 2015 it is launched. It is ETL tool. But earlier we had SSIS. It was the ETL tool. People were using SSIS. It is in 2005 Microsoft is launched. It was the on-premises ETL tool. It can get the data from only on-premises. If we have a cloud machine, it cannot get the data and it cannot dump the data into the cloud machines. That is the problem of SSIS or old tools like Data Stage, Informatica. Lot of ETL softwares were available earlier, but only problem was that people are not able to use today because today we have cloud. Cloud is implemented. SSIS and Informatica cannot talk to the cloud. That is the reason Microsoft, using it today for the ADF, even though it has SSIS. Clear? SSIS means SQL Server Integration Services. Integration means get the data, clean the data, combine the data, or store the data somewhere. So is what you're going to be doing. So today we are going to be getting from different platform means we can use on premises and cloud means we can use ADF. That is what you got to understand. So SSIS people are using to get the data, but only we have limited on premises sources you can get the data. Earlier people were using into data warehousing. That is fine. Okay. And SSIS is more good for the structured data only. This was on-premises tool launched in 2005 by Microsoft. It is on-premises tool. You need to install the software. On-premises means you need to install the software on your own. But today, Microsoft is giving ADF. ADF means it is cloud software. You need not install it. It can get the data from these are on-premises sources. You may have SQL, you may have any on-premises Excel, it may be having SQL, it may be having CSV file or Java. All of them are on premises. So ADF can get the data from here. Or if you have a whenever cloud, AWS is there, you have some Azure cloud is there, can they get the data from here? It can also dump the data to the on-premises cloud. Or you can also get the data in your cloud data warehousing. So you can have Azure SQL data warehousing will be there. So this will be data warehousing means the SQL only. So what is the data warehouse? Clearly told in the demo number 1, demo number 2, you can understand. But later also, I will be able to tell you. Data warehouse means a bigger machine where SQL you have installed. If you install SQL software in your laptop, it is called as a simple SQL I have installed in your laptop because the maximum data you can store 1 terabyte. That is the maximum capacity in your hard disk. But if you buy a 100 terabyte of hard disk, 100 computers, 100 GB of RAM. If you store SQL there, it will be called as data warehousing server. Large hardware, software based, same software we're going to be having, but this is going to be there in the cloud, Azure cloud. So, or I may store, get the data. I will be able to store my data in Azure itself. Azure can store the data also. Azure will have ADF, that is ETL. Azure also can store the data. Azure has how many applications? I told you 200 application. This is ETL application, right? Then Databricks is going to be big data application. Then Azure is going to be having Azure SQL to store the data. Azure has a lot of other applications, Azure Data Lake and everything, where you will be able to store the data. So it's cloud. So you can get the data, store the data like this. You may have Azure SQL data warehouse, you may have Azure Data Lake or Azure some other applications where you can store the data. This data, so tomorrow I will be able to take and I will be able to process using Azure Data Bricks. Because when you have a large amount of data, I'm able to get the data from here, I'm able to dump it here. So if you dump it, it is not sufficient, right? Later on, you need to do a lot of other circuits. On this, we're going to be processing the data, we're going to be creating a lot of reports means, so this data can go to Databricks. Here, we can perform AI application, BI application, lot of other work and everything you will be able to perform. So you can get the data, store the data. So this is going to be taking the data, this is going to be processing your data. Okay, so Databricks is going to be collecting the data from here and going to be going it here and going to be processing, and later you will be able to get A and BA going to be connected with the data bricks. What is ADF? ADF means completely data importing, exporting software. I will get the data, store the data into the Azure. So data is stored in Azure. So Azure has lot of storage applications. One is Azure SQL, you can store the data. Azure Data Warehouse, you can store the data. But if you have unstructured data, semi-structured data, you will be able to store them in Azure Data Lake and Blob. That I will be talking about in tomorrow's class. So a lot of unstructured data, I can get it. Semi-structured data, I can get it. So SSIS cannot deal with the semi-structured data. So this can get the unstructured data, semi-structured data, structured data, everything you will be able to get it. Structured data means data warehouse, Azure can store. Unstructured data means Azure can store. In that we have a data lake and a blob storages are available. So all the data, you will be able to store them internally to the Azure. Not only Azure, even in AWS. When you go to AWS, so structured data means, AWS SQL will be there. But unstructured data, semi-structured data means AWS data lake or AWS blob will be there to store the data. So tomorrow class, I will be talking about what is a data lake, what is a blob storage. So blob storage and data lake, both of them are available in your cloud computing, cloud technologies. Clear? So how do you store your photos and images and videos? You will be able to go to your C drive, create a folder saying that my marriage photos, my marriage videos. You're going to be creating a folder, right? So that folder, where are you creating? In your C drive or the D drive. So these folders are called as data lake or blob. That's it. Clear? What is a data lake or a blob? In C drive, in local computer, we're going to be creating a folders. But in the cloud, these folders are called as what? Called as a data lake or the blob. So what is a blob or the data lake means? Which is a folder where you can store a lot of pictures and files, lot of my photos, my marriage photos I would like to store. Where will you store? You can store in the C drive. But the problem, I wanted to send it to my father who's there in New Jersey. I'm in India. How do you share the pictures? You will be able to create a OneDrive or Google Drive link. All the photos you will be able to store in the Google Drive. Share the link to your father who's there in New Jersey or maybe somewhere remote. So the Google Drive is called as a data lake or a blob. Remember, very simple. What is a data lake? Data lake means it is a OneDrive or Google Drive. Why OneDrive, Google Drive? Because from anywhere you can access the photos. So if you load the photos in your local computer, only you can see from the local computer. If you put them photos in the data lake and the blob, that means OneDrive and Google Drive, everybody can see the data from anywhere else. So online storages are called as a OneDrive, Google Drive. These are called data lake and data blob. Simply, these are cloud folders. You have a Windows folder, right? So unstructured data, semi-structured data can be stored in the Windows C drive, D drive. You create a folder. You store all the video, all the audios, all the pictures. Where will you store? Folders in Windows. So in Azure or the AWS, where will you store? Data lake and blob. What is a data lake? Data lake means a folder. What kind of a folder it is? Similar to Google Drive, similar to OneDrive. That's it. All the data, either it can go into your Azure SQL or it can go into data lake or the blob. So tomorrow we will discuss more about data lake and blob. Hope you're able to understand. Clear? So what is ADF? ADF means simply lorry transport service. Clear? Am I clear? So data engineering means Azure Data Factory you're going to be learning, and later Azure Data Bricks you're going to be learning. Azure Data Bricks is going to be using Spark internally. Spark is faster, RAM-oriented technology. To learn Data Factory, SQL is needed. To learn Data Bricks, you need to know SQL and Python, both of them. So only this is needed. But this one purpose, you need to know both of them. So these are the things I'm going to be covering for 20, 30 years, 2 months I'm going to be covering. So this is the complete course. Not only those two, you need to know SQL, you need to know Python, Data Factory, Databricks. Azure Synapses I'm going to be giving for 10 hours videos free. Data warehousing also you should know for free. So these videos I'm going to be giving for free. And the live classes will be Azure Data Factory, Databricks. Inside the Databricks, I'm going to be talking about what is a Hadoop, what is a big data, and what is a cluster. A lot of things I'm going to be discussing as part of Databricks later. And the SQL and Python, you need to know 30 years you need to plan and learn. So these skills you need to know if you want to become a data engineering guy. So these are the roles you're going to be playing: data engineer, Azure data engineer, cloud data engineer, big data engineer, or a cloud big data engineer. So different roles will be able to be given. So these are the things that you need to learn. From tomorrow, you need to start watching SQL. One video class, you need to take it from my team, and you need to make the amount and get the videos, watch them daily, one class, and we will be able to attend one Azure Data Factory class from tomorrow. So tomorrow, I'll show you how to create a free subscription in Azure portal. Clear? So when you create a free subscription, you got a 200 plus application. So I'm going to be using one application called Azure Data Factory, completely no coding software, Azure Data Factory. It is a completely UI based, no coding is required. Anybody can learn Azure Data Factory. What is it you should know? Basic SQL you should know to work with the Azure Data Factory. But to get a job, you have to know in depth of SQL, right? To work with the Azure Data Factory, basic is sufficient. But if you wanted to get a job, you have to know SQL in depth. So you will not be able to learn in depth of SQL from YouTube or Udemy courses. You have to buy our courses, because we have created from very basic level to advanced level of SQL. Daily one video you watch SQL, so that you can ask the questions in the next day ADF classes, or I have given my number. Anytime you will be able to call me, and anytime you will be able to ask me the questions as well. So this is the number I have already shared. So if you have any questions anytime, directly you will be able to call me on this number or WhatsApp me. Sir, this is the question, or this is the lab prep I'm doing. I'm not able to go ahead. I need your support. You can just ping me your issue in the WhatsApp number, so we can connect one to one in the evening, so that we can resolve all your issues. Clear? So till getting the job, you will be able to call me anytime. It need not be for these 2 months or 3 months. Am I clear? So you can also write your messages to bhaskarjogi@gmail.com if you wanted to communicate anything. So this is the data engineering complete course roadmap I have given. What is the data factory? I mean, it is completely a ETL tool, right? We have one more ELT also that I will be able to talk about tomorrow. Okay. So any questions anybody has? So if you wanted to become a data analytics, SQL Server, Power BI, Azure Data Factory, SSAS, and data warehousing, if you learn this course extra, and you will become a data analytics guy. Clear? So Databricks is not there. Remaining things are there. And SSIS, we're going to be learning extra here. So data analytics is batch started morning 8 o'clock from today, new batch. Anybody who wanted to get into this, you can also get into data analytics. It's completely no coding. Even Power BI, no coding. SQL, we have a little bit coding. And here no coding. You can learn one ETL tool. This is no coding. This is no coding. No coding means you can become a data analyst, data analytics, Power BI developer, BA developer, data analyst, business analyst, report developer. So no coding completely. But in the data engineering, completely you need to have coding knowledge, because Python we're going to be writing there. So Python we're going to be using there, and Databricks completely coding. Remember? So it is easy, but coding you need to write. You cannot say, sir, I hate coding. Means you better jump into data engineering to data analytics. We have both courses taught by me. So the fresh batch is started morning 8 o'clock. So you can continue from tomorrow if you wanted to come into this. It is also 3 months course. So data engineering is also 3 months course. It is completely no coding software here. So we have again data, all of them are common, right? So one or two, only Power BI is extra. So that is what you need to understand, right? Data engineering will also cover, because SQL and Azure Data Factory part of data engineering, part of data analytics. So some of the concept is same. If you learn Power BI data engineering, I also can become a data analyst. Can apply for both jobs. Clear? So 3 months course. And if you need data analytics demos, means watch my YouTube channel, Bhaskar Jogi. Okay. So go to Bhaskar Jogi channel. You can see everything. Tomorrow I'll show you how to create a free subscription, and we'll continue further. Thank you guys. Any questions?
Hello, sir. This is Chandni.
Mm-hmm.
So, by learning Databricks, I can work on AWS or Azure anywhere on any platform.
Yeah, either we are using Azure, right? So I'm not going to teach you AWS. I'm going to be using Azure. But you can use any platform. Azure, you can use AWS, you can use, or you can also use GCP cloud. Okay.
Okay. And the similar case is for ADF as well, or ADF is only dedicated
No,
to Azure.
ADF is related to Microsoft. It is a
Okay.
Microsoft product. Databricks is a third-party tool.
Okay. So once we will learn ADF and meanwhile, can we get the job by only learning ADF and later on we will do
Yeah, you can do that also, but only pure ADF may not be, easy. People will ask you data analytics if you know only ADF means. They'll
okay.
ask you SQL, they'll ask you data analytics because pure ADF jobs may not be there, or they'll ask you
No, like
SSIS.
ADF and SQL and
SQL and SSIS they'll ask you because on premises also they'll be running. They'll ask you combinations, ADF and SSIS, both together you need to learn. And
yes,
database
I'm
written.
SSIS developer. I have learned the
Uh,
SSIS from you 2020.
then you can put these combinations. SQL, ADF, and SSIS and data warehousing combination will give you data engineering role, but big data concept you don't know. Databricks, you can tell them that you don't know. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that is also possible. That is also data engineering, but only thing is that big data is not covered in that. Okay, na?
Okay, sir.
Sure, very good. Anything
Understood.
else you wanted to know? Any other people? Are you clear, guys? So tomorrow we'll create a subscription. So tomorrow we will be able to continue further. And if you have any questions, you're welcome, guys. If you need detailed sessions on data engineering, I've taken 2 classes and posted already. Just watch them once again from the detailed session means because those 2 sessions are merged today. Okay. I made it to one session. If you're not able to understand, you can go to my YouTube channel. And last month, July 25th, 26th, I think I have created 2 videos. You can watch those detailed videos as well there. So tomorrow, I'll show you how to work with the creating a free subscription. Clear? Chal. Any other questions? So people who are new, they need to fill the form, guys. Did you fill the form, guys? I have given the form in the chat window. People who are new should fill the form. People already done it, just leave it. So this is needed. So I'm just going to give you this form in the chat window. So daily recorded videos will be given 6 months validity for the recorded videos. If you miss any day, any class means no worries. You will be able to get the recorded video for the all classes. Clear? So just give me your email ID if you're new to the class means. And if you have any other questions, guys, chalo. Bye bye. Take care. Tomorrow, same meeting ID, same time, we'll connect. Okay? Yeah. And the payments and everything, you can call these numbers and they will be able to tell you the payments. You can make the payment and enroll for the batch, or you can attend 1 or 2 classes extra. Later, you can also make the payment. So we will give you 2 more days time to enroll for the batch. So it will be very easy. Azure Data Factory is no coding software. Anybody can learn. Only prerequisite is SQL. You need to buy SQL videos also, practice both of them. Chalo, guys. Any other questions?